Hello everyone, I am Chica Chica, and in today's video I would like to talk a little bit about how it looks like to study in Sweden. Since I was little, I wanted to travel the world, and I found that it's really amazing to actually combine the passion of traveling with studying abroad. And I have studied abroad in Austria, in Mexico, in the Czech Republic, which is my home country, and now currently I am studying in Sweden. I'm doing Erasmus Mundus. If you have checked out my previous videos, you probably know what is Erasmus Mundus about. And today's video I would like to share with you how does studying in Sweden looks like. First and foremost, I have to say that as I am a part of Erasmus Mundus program, then the studying might be a little bit different than if you are a full-time student here in Sweden. I am studying at the Lund University, but my campus is not in Lund, it's in Helsingborg, which is in a Skåne region in the southwest part of the country, which is pretty far away from Stockholm, so it's way closer to go to Denmark than go to Stockholm. I study tourism and culture development, and I have a focus of innovation and value creation here in Sweden. Studying in Sweden, if I can compare it to what I have studied and how I have studied previously, I would say it's very much academically oriented. So if you're coming to Sweden, be prepared to read a lot. Unfortunately, what we do is very theoretical, and sometimes it's not even up to date. So I am sometimes a little bit skeptical, and I'm very critical toward the articles sometimes because they're like 20-30 years old. But sometimes I'm also thinking that maybe there is a reason why we are given those articles, that some theories are not really changing and they're based on a long-term research. I guess it just depends on what you're searching for. But if you are interested in research, for instance, then I think Sweden is pretty much the country to study. One of the reasons why I actually chose to study here is because Lund is supposedly the 86th best university around the world. And now I want to tell you a little bit about my courses, how the courses look like. So I started studying in the early September, and my semester is until January. And as I'm Erasmus Mundus scholarship and student, the semester is quite interesting because the first month we were having an introduction to the topics, and we're supposed to read a lot of articles again and meet up and discuss and then write an essay. And then the second month we had another course. It's a collective course, which means that you can choose it, depends on your focus. And then in the third and fourth month, I have like a core course, which is given the most credits, and you have to, again, read a lot and write way more than in the previous courses. My studying is partly online and partly on campus, which seems a little bit weird to me, and it might be different for other programs. But even though there are no restrictions at the moment in Sweden, we are still not going so much to the school, and we have a lot of Zoom sessions, which I'm not so a big fan of, especially because we have to be here in Sweden and we are going to school just once in 2 weeks. But this might be different for other courses. This gives you kind of the feeling like you don't have to do anything, but you actually have like this long list of reading you have to read. And sometimes after this reading there's supposed to be some maybe student-led discussion or individual discussion. The teachers in Sweden, they kind of like support you or maybe push you that you start studying individually, but then you're discussing the literature either in a pair or in a group or even in the whole class. So it has happened to me that we're supposed to prepare a presentation in pair and then in a group, then even in a bigger group, and so on. Other technique is also leading seminars for other students, but at the end, what you are graded for, especially in my course, in the service management, we are not taking any tests like A, B options or explaining something, but it's all based on the literature, and you're supposed to write some essay dealing with some topics. The nice thing about studying in Sweden is that it feels, at least as a student, that there is no corona, no pandemic. In my fourth semester, I will be writing a thesis. I cannot share more details about my thesis, but how it works in Sweden usually, that the thesis is written in pairs. So 2 people are writing and working together on a thesis. As an Erasmus Mundus student, I am writing my thesis alone, just by myself, and also I have the opportunity and the possibility to discuss my thesis with the teachers from my first and second semester, which are in the University of Glasgow and University of Malta. What is actually expected from you when you're writing? What they really want here, it's like, according to my opinion, to really connect a lot of authors and a lot of literature together and kind of elaborate what the author A thinks and what author B thinks, and then kind of like argue together. I think this might be for some students and maybe the ones who have no experience in studying in Sweden, that might be a little problematic. And I think it's just a process of understanding how actually the professors, what they actually expect from you. Of course, this might be different if you're studying engineering or if you're studying biology. As mentioned, I am a student of service management. So what was for me surprising, actually, we had a field trip. And I was quite excited about having the field trip because that time I had a course about sustainability, so I expected us to go to some company, and we went to the class for the information, and then the teacher told us that we supposed to just walk through the city and see what is unsustainable in the city. And I was surprised because it was not a field trip, not a company visit. But I would say what this experience has brought me, even though I was not so happy at the beginning, to see the things in different eyes. And what I would say, it's the most beneficial for me. Studying in Sweden is super international, and that's what I like so much. I would say that there is no language barrier if you're coming to Sweden. Pretty much everywhere, and everywhere you can speak English. It's also very important to settle your ID number, personal identification number, because basically you need it for everything. One more thing which I would say was pretty difficult, it's to find accommodation here in Sweden. So I would really recommend searching very early and applying for more places. It might differ from where you live. On maybe Lund or Uppsala might be more difficult and more expensive to find something than in a bigger cities where there are more options. However, try to get as soon as possible into looking for some housing options. And apart from the university, I would say that Sweden is not really a party place. So if you're searching for really socializing and a lot of social events, I would say Spain or maybe Portugal is definitely a little bit better. But this is maybe what you would probably know before even coming here. However, I'm not saying it is really hard to socialize, because there are other students, there are tons of students, thousands of students, but don't expect that parties will be so affordable, for instance, because Sweden is quite expensive, and also the restaurants and the places are not really open all the time, let's say. Last but not least, what I personally enjoy so much about Sweden, that it's very innovative, and if you have some idea, it's and you're taking part in some extra curriculum activities besides the campus, I think you can get a lot of nice contacts and networking and experience, and it's in my opinion, it's not so difficult to find internship and just getting some working experience in Sweden. I hope you enjoyed those information. Let me know if there was something surprising for you, or if you're missing some information, or if you agree or disagree or whatever. I have to say one more time that really depends on which program are you doing or in which city you're studying. But yeah, this is my experience of being Erasmus Mundus student at Lund University in 2021. And yes, see you in the next video, guys. Bye bye.